We are very lucky to have Colonel Greco here all the way from Vermont. Not only is she an expert in terms of military operations, but also served on Vermont City Council. So she has a lot of experiences that she can really help inform us here. And she's going to be giving a presentation. Following the presentation, we're going to have the public comment period, and I'll explain a little bit more about that after the presentation. So without further ado, here's Colonel Greco.
Deja vu, you almost look like a Vermont audience without the Ben & Jerry's ice cream, because Ben is a very strong ally with us in opposing the F-35, and every forum we had, he would bring Ben & Jerry's ice cream. So if I had only known, I would have asked him to come and get some B&J's for you all too. So let me start to pick up on what Chris just said about the power of people. She is absolutely correct. We'll talk about who they are in a second, want to make you feel afraid and feel powerless. And the fear that they cause in Vermont caused many people to automatically back this weapon system. The fear that they were engendering was multiple. One was national defense. That we have to have this weapon system for national defense. Oh my God, this thing can't do anything against the real threats that we're facing right now. Then there was the fear about the Guard going away. That if they didn't get this weapon system, our air guard would fold up tents and go home. They even made it so nuts that not only did the air guard close, but the Army Guard would close and the whole airport would close. So many people reacted, oh my God, we got to keep the airport there, but we have to support them. And then they used the whole issue of patriotism. And they equated the people, the women and men in uniform, with the plane. So that if you were opposed to the plane, then you were unpatriotic because you did not support our troops. When you put all that together, they did convince very many Vermonters, most of whom lived nowhere near the noise zone, that it was perfectly fine to put this plane in your neighborhood. And so that's why many Vermonters still to this day do back the F-35 because of those fears that they engendered, that misinformation and that disinformation. So let me give you a little background on how I got involved. So I served 30 years, 29 years, 4 months, and 4 days. Sometimes I round up, sometimes I round down. In the United States Air Force. I was an intelligence officer. I specialized in nuclear weapons, and I also participated in a number of international arms control delegations on nuclear weapons. So I know a lot about nuclear weapons. Little did I know that would be brought back to my life this year. So I retired to Vermont, and I was going to city meetings mainly because of overdevelopment and environmental issues. And somebody said, would you like to run for a city council? That's what we call it in South Burlington, Vermont. I didn't know what it was, so I said yes. And then I got elected, and I don't do much planning in my life. And then I got elected to the chair of South Burlington City Council. And it was at that time that our environmental impact statement, EIS, came to the citizens of my city. When the residents came to the city council, much like you are doing today and perhaps have done in the past, and said to their elected officials, what are you going to do for us? I had no idea what they were talking about because I had never heard of the F-35 before. When I retired, I really retired. I took off my uniform and didn't want to do with military matters anymore. So I called our Vermont Air Guard. And so colonel to colonel, they assured me that there was nothing to see here. People were just making up stories. It's a little noise. Come on, get over it. I lived on Air Force bases for many years of my career. I lived next to jets. I actually like jet noise, personally. Now I know, though, that it hurts me. I mean, it physically hurts me. I can't tell it, but it does. It's like secondhand smoke. We'll go into that later. Anyway. So the guard told me the noise will not be bad. In fact, it might even be quieter than the F-16s. And I believe them. I had no reason not to believe them. Just like I think many of your politicians are being assured by your guard, I hope they're not like our guard, or your senior elected officials, or your business community, that there's nothing to worry about here. So I believe them. And then the EIS came out, and I read it. Many people, ours was, well, we had multiple volumes, 3 versions, about 6,000 pages, weighed 6 pounds. I would have brought it out here, but too heavy. But I read it. And in it was clear what the guard had told me was wrong. Not only was it not going to be quieter, it was going to be 4 times louder. All right, so noise is one thing. I had no idea really what noise was about. By the way, the definition of noise is unwanted sound. I learned this from EIS. I mean, it's a really good read. If you ever want to learn some stuff about noise and what noise does and how you measure noise and all that, it's a fascinating treatise on that. But in there, noise was obviously something you hear, but what it does into human beings, to their health, to their property values, to the environment, to the economy, that's the real negative part of the F-35. Yes, it's loud. Yes, if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, you can go deaf. It depends on where you are. The smaller you are, the more damaging it will do to you. So the Air Force cited in studies done by the World Health Organization, peer-reviewed studies that show overwhelmingly that the noise produced by weapon systems such as the F-35 causes significant harm to human beings. They didn't say this, but I just read an article on the plane coming here that they're doing more and more studies, and I actually came to this conclusion as I was reading this. Noise is the new nicotine. Because just like years ago, many of us said, smoke doesn't bother me, secondhand smoke doesn't bother me, smokers said it doesn't bother me, right? It did. They didn't know it. I mean, how do you know that your liver is being affected or your heart's being affected? Or your lungs are being affected? You don't know until you start exhibiting symptoms. Well, that's what they were talking about, noise. It's vibrations that affect our internal organs. So while I was feeling the rush of jet engines when I was stationed at Udor in Thailand and F-4s were taking off and thinking that was thrilling, I didn't know it was actually damaging my organs. And if you're a child or an infant or anybody with a compromised immune system, it has more effect. So the health effect is overwhelming. And the fact that you have schools in that noise zone and we have schools in that noise zone is very concerning if you love your children. In addition to the health effects, it has cognitive effects on children. And they've done studies about children who live around the airports, and they find that the noise of the aircraft can cause lifelong learning impairment. Some children, these are all in the studies that the Air Force provided, I just looked them up and read them. Some children, when they move away from airports, are able to recover. Some children never recover. So you have health impacts, you have cognitive impairment. From a health standpoint alone and a human safety standpoint, that should be enough. You don't even have to know about the rest of it, but there's more, right? The thing that got me most of all was the safety issue, because now we're talking about lives being lost. So the Air Force had to, and by the way, the Air Force does this because they were required by law to do it. They did not do it out of the goodness of their heart. So there's an Environmental Policy Act, National Environmental Policy Act, which is sometimes as NEPA, that was set in place years ago. So when any federal entity is about to do something that has a significant impact on the environment, they are required by law to produce a document like the Environmental Impact Statement that assesses 15 different areas and what the impact of their proposal will be on those areas, right? So human health, the world environment, economic issues, impact on people of color, they call them minorities, and people of low income, et cetera, et cetera. They even have a whole part on animals. The EIS gave more information on an animal than it did on children in some cases, but anyway, but one of the things they have to do is assess it from a safety perspective. So how safe is this aircraft? So that's the part that just stopped me in my tracks. So it said the F-35, and it's many years later now, our EIS came out in 2012, right? But it said, so we have to tell you how safe it is. I'm politicizing this, okay? I have to tell you how safe it is. We don't know. It's too new, so it has no safety record. So we can't tell you how safe it's going to be. But what we'll tell you is how safe we think it's going to be based on the aircraft it is most comparable to. And the aircraft they picked that was most comparable to the F-35 is an aircraft called the F-22. Anybody know about the F-22? Probably not. It's the most unsafe aircraft the Air Force is flying. Some of you may remember this. Maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe longer, 2 Air Guard pilots that flew the F-22 went on 60 Minutes because the plane was crashing and a few pilots had died. And they were trying to get the Air Force's attention that something is wrong with this plane. And the Air Force ignored them and they got to the point where they went to 60 Minutes. So that's the aircraft that the Air Force told us we could expect our F-35 to be comparable to. Right. Okay, then it said, okay, so the F-35 is a new aircraft, immature sometimes is the word they use. And new and immature aircraft crash more in their beginning years. Right? That's just what happens. And they gave charts to show how frequently they crash in their beginning years. So we saw how the F-35 did, in fact, we did it. We estimated how many times the F-35 was going to crash in Burlington if it's like the F-22. Right? And then it said, okay, and where they normally crash, although they can fall out of the sky, but they normally crash on takeoff and landing. And so we have one runway. Y'all have one runway. At the end of one of our runways is a little town called Winooski of 5,000 people. Winooski was a city that took in a lot of refugees that are overwhelmingly Africans and people from countries, war-torn countries, and they are dead center right at the end of the runway. At the other end of the runway is a city called Williston. On either sides of the runway is South Burlington. That's where I live. I don't live near the airport, but the runway runs right through South Burlington. Okay. So that didn't sound like a good idea. A few years ago, an F-35 burst into flames as it was taking off on Eglin Air Force Base in Florida's runway. Now, our runway is 8,000 feet. Yours is about 9,000 feet. Eglin's, I think, is about 12,000 feet-ish, right? So the plane was taxiing for takeoff. It caught fire. The pilot, he ejected safely, and then he made a statement after that said he had enough runway to be able to stop the plane in order to get out. I mention that because the shorter your runway, the less options the pilot has if she or he runs into trouble. So because that was a long runway at Eglin, the pilot was able to stop the plane. We tried to find out at what point along their runway he stopped the plane. Because if it had been over 8,319 feet, and had it been in Vermont, it would have been over the city of Winooski. So I was concerned about the whole safety impact of it. Then there was the whole property value. So the Air Force put out, you're thinking about economics, is this good for the people that live around the airport? What will happen to your property values? Well, they had a number of studies. Some of the studies says that houses that are around noisy airports lose value. Now they showed other studies that said there was no loss, but nonetheless, you look around airports. All right, is that where the big fat cats live? Not usually. So all of those reasons gave me enough reason as a reader to say this does not belong in the Burlington, Vermont area. I naively thought that my colleagues, my elected officials, in the state, the county, and the federal level, would also inform themselves and come to that same conclusion. You don't have to extrapolate. Well, you got to look at the data. They did not. What they did, and I don't know if your elected officials did this, certainly not the ones up here, but they came out in support of the F-35 before the EIS was released. So they made their assessment and they pledged allegiance to this weapon system before they learned the information about it. And then many of them, I think, found themselves in a bind because they basically were maybe felt what I did. Somebody else told them everything would be fine, so they said, we're fine. They wrote statements, passed resolutions, and then the information came out, and yet none of them reversed their position. Now they had the information. We kept giving them fixating ways. What you're going to do is, did you know this? If you did, now you do. Now you think you want to make that same choice. That didn't work. Right? So we fought, much like we were doing. We had assemblies like this. We had a panel of doctors one time that focused specifically on the impacted children. We had public assemblies where we invited our senior elected officials. Not only did they not show up, they never heard of RSVP. We had letter writing campaigns. We did marches down the main street in Vermont. We sent postcards. We did just about everything. Week before last, I got arrested because our senator, Senator Pat Leahy, and our other senator, Senator Bernie Sanders, are both strongly behind the F35. That's bad enough. Yeah, Bernie. That's bad enough. Neither of these two guys, in the 8 years I have been fighting this, has ever met with anybody who is against the F35. Never. We have repeatedly asked for meetings, one-on-one, if they didn't want to lose face, in a group, in a public assembly, in their office. Nothing. They have never spoken to anybody about our concerns about the F-35. That is shameful. So a week before last, we went 2 by 2 to Senator Pat Leahy's office, asking him at this point, well, we sort of demanded, that he sign this list, which is to tell the Air Force to delay sending it until 6 things have been addressed, many of which you also should want to have addressed, right? And we didn't leave. So we waited in his waiting room, and then they closed and we didn't leave. So they had to call the cops, right? So we had, just about time to do that. And then we had people who were trapped in the noise zone. They went the next day, a mother and her daughter who was in a wheelchair. Then we had 2 members of our faith community, our local clergy go. Then we had some members of our city council went. And then we had 2 doctors go. So 2 by 2, every day they went to Senator Leahy's office, and 6 of us ended up getting arrested. Then he locked his doors. We couldn't wait in his waiting room, so right. Senator Leahy, let's talk about Senator Leahy, because I believe your folks are now working with Senator Leahy, because I just was reading a little statement that he put out that I think you're going to be hearing about. You're going to disseminate it so you don't have to worry, everything's going to be okay. All right, Senator Leahy contacted the Air Force, and everything will be just fine. So, I was contacted early on by a whistleblower who, I can't tell you who it is, right? Because this person did not ask for whistleblower protection before they contacted me, right? So they're in great jeopardy should their identity become aware. But this person told me that there was all kinds of stuff going on behind the scenes to rig the system. Senator Leahy was integral to that. He pressured the Air Force. He tried to get them to falsify information, to change charts, to change graphs. He tried to get them to change the, I'm not going to say this now. So there is a policy, and you've heard about the 65 decibel DNL, right? So the 65 decibel DNL does not mean 65 decibels is what you're going to hear. You're not going to hear 65 decibels. That is an average from a period of total quiet to the 118, 120 decibels you will hear when the F-35 takes off, right? So that's an average, right? But what that represents is very important, because if your homes are in that zone, which is agreed upon by 5 different federal agencies, you could be eligible for federal money to help you with the noise. There's two ways they can help you. I'll tell you how they helped us. So we had thousands of homes that were in the noise of the F-16. So they applied, they were the 65 decibel or greater. So the airport applied to the FAA to get money, got money. They bought 200 homes and they destroyed them. So they bought out, these are all affordable houses, looks a lot like your neighborhoods. I've been driving around, and I see your little neighborhoods and they look a lot like ours used to look. We lost neighborhoods. That's how they helped us. So people got value for their property. They got market value because that's what the FAA will give you. But their homes were gone, and many of these people, their house was their home. It wasn't just an edifice, right? So they helped us that way. They destroyed a bunch of neighborhoods, and those houses now are no longer subject to the 65 D&L. Guess what? The houses in the blocks right next to them now were in the 65 decibel area because the houses in front were a buffer.
Right.
The buffer was now gone, and now they opened up a whole other area of 65 decibel homes. Then the airport goes, well, holy crap, what are you going to do now? I mean, you can't take down all these homes. All right, so the FAA came in and told us something you will not hear. I'm going to tell you this. You cannot mitigate noise. The only way to mitigate noise is to buy the houses and destroy them. Because being in a 65 decibel zone means it is unsuitable for residential use. So you have to take them down. So if you're in that 65 decibel, right, that's not suitable for residential use. Oh, and by the way, this is back to what Senator Leahy tried to get the Air Force to change. HUD and the VA are not guaranteed to give any federal mortgage assistance or federal insurance if your house is in the 65 decibel D&L. So that's another little catch-22. Senator Leahy didn't like that, and and I'll tell you how we know about this, but he tried to get the Air Force to change the statement. They refused. They said, that's what HUD said. That's what the VA said. So there's a lot about this 65 D&L. Okay, let me tell you the second thing they're now talking about doing, because now the first two F-35s arrived last week.
Yep.
So because the Air Force said, and I can give you the citations, and because the FAA said you cannot mitigate the noise of the F-35, the only way to do it is to buy the houses and tear them down. You can't soundproof. That will not mitigate the noise if you ever go outside your house, or open a window, or a door, or want to spend time with kids playing in the yard, right? As long as you're inside your house with doors and windows closed, you might be able to mitigate some, depends how close you are. You can never mitigate the outdoors. Okay, so because the Air Force decided they probably didn't want to take out all the houses in South Burlington and Winooski and so forth, they are intending to apply for federal money for soundproofing. This is how it's going to go. So the F-35s are arriving now. They're gonna, you ever heard the story of the frog in the boiling water? Okay, so two arrive now. Next month another two are gonna arrive. Next month another two are gonna arrive until we're boiled to death and they're all here. So after they're here for about a year, then they're gonna do another sound assessment to see how bad it really is. Because the EIS, by the way, is a best case estimate, not a worst case, a best case. And it's an estimate. And what they said is, we're just telling you what we think it's going to be. It's a best case, it'll probably be worse. And after it's there, we're going to come down, and then we're going to really measure how bad it is. Okay, so once the F-35 is with us for a year, then they're going to find out how loud it really is. And then the airport may apply for FAA dollars, right? That's the process, it takes a while. If the federal government is still in business by that point, and they have money, and the FAA has it, then they will give it to us, right? But not all of it. We have to have a match. Right now, the Air Force told us that we have 2,963 homes in the 65 decibel D&L. So, if they want to insulate all 2,963 homes, you know how long it's going to take? 20 years. Because they can't do it all at once. We're Vermont. We just had a handful of contractors who probably have second jobs, all right? So they can only afford monetarily and labor to insulate only a certain portion. So 20 years, well, actually 22 years from now, they're right, all of the homes will finally be soundproof. So I'm just telling you that in case they tell you, don't worry, we'll soundproof your homes. Right? Okay, I don't know, I rambled on a lot. What else can I tell you that? Oh, yes. Back to the power of the people. Okay, so you have the power. All right, they want you to think you don't, you do. The Air Force looks very closely at all of your comments. It's not a vote, but they tally them all. They will report them to you. They'll say we received, in our case, they received like 1,100 comments. 80% of them were against the basing of the F-35. Right? They're going to do the same thing for you because they are really, the Air Force really wants to be a good neighbor. I say that. Sort of believe in it. They would dearly like to go where people want them. If there is a choice, and they have lots of choices. When they were looking at us, people were making it, my God, if it doesn't go to Vermont, where are they going to put it? And one of the other 203 pieces that are available is where they're going to put it. So it's not here or nowhere. There are plenty of places for it. So anyway, so they look at your comments, right? And we read about them looking at our comments, right? But we know they were paying very close attention, and they were saying over and over again, they don't want it. Why are we going there if the people don't want it? Right? So we actually convinced the Air Force not to base it in Burlington. The reason we know that is because we sued the Air Force. We lost, but as a result of that lawsuit, all of their internal documents had to be revealed. It's called the administrative record. They never would have guessed that we were going to be reading their emails long after the fact. Now, there were over 68,000 entries that we read. A band of 11 women went through all of those. We did word searches. But there was plenty of stuff there. And that's where we read that we had convinced the Air Force. In fact, we saw a record of decision. That's what they'll do at the very end of this process. They're going to write something called a record of decision. They're going to say, we picked base A for these reasons. So we read a record of decision for McIntyre Air Guard Base in South Carolina. Before that, they said we cannot. These people are the basing experts in the Air Force. They're the ones that look at all the data, look at the environmental impacts, look at the operational aspects, and look at the comments. They put all that together, and they said, we cannot support Burlington. It does not belong there. It has too many impacts on the people. It's not good for the environment, not good operationally. The people don't want us. We are recommending you, the Chief of Staff of the Air Force, that's the 4-star in charge of the Air Force, select McIntyre in South Carolina. We read that. We had succeeded. And then Senator Leahy called the Chief of Staff of the Air Force. We read that too. And said, I want it in Burlington. So Congress pulls the purse strings for all military, for anything the military does. Any senator that wants or doesn't want something from the military will always get it. So Leahy called and said, I want it. 2 weeks later, they had a record decision selecting Burlington. So we were successful, but we weren't the only ones that were successful. So we did some research. And I came up with 5 places around the United States where citizens were successful, where states were successful in reversing a military basing decision. And I'm going to send it, one of your reporters asked me for it, but I'll send it to everybody so you can look at it. So they were in North Carolina, Virginia, Florida, Alaska, and another base that I keep forgetting, right? So in one state, this was in Alaska, the senator didn't want the Air Force to put some F-16s, move them from one base to another to rebase them. I think it was Murkowski. And so she said to the Air Force, I don't want this. Guess what? Air Force didn't move the F-16s to the other base, kept them where they were, even though the Air Force wanted to do it. In England Air Force Base in Florida, there's a little town called Valparaiso. So the mayor of that town, Mayor Arnold, who has since passed away, sued the Air Force on behalf of his people, and he won. The Air Force settled, paid all their legal expenses, and then they changed the basing. It is a little bit different in England because they had 2 runways, and they just wanted them to use the other runway that didn't overfly Valparaiso. Believe it or not, there was a lawsuit for the Air Force to do that, but they did. And then he ended up removing half of the F-35s from England, and they moved them someplace else. I believe it was the Marines in North Carolina. They wanted to put a base in, and I believe it was one of the Marine Growlers, I believe. They were going to base it there, and the grassroots coalition formed. I think they filed a lawsuit, or were about to file a lawsuit, and the Marines dropped the basing plan. And it also happened in Norfolk, too, and I forget which aircraft that was. I know that must have been asked that, but I can send it to you. But they were successful in blocking the basing there. So I found at least 5 examples of wrapping up this. Okay, so you've got the power, all right? Other people were able to do it. You can do it too. So use your voices. We have been told the sound of a fighter bomber is the sound of freedom. The sound, the noise of a fighter bomber is de facto the noise of war. Your voices are the sound of freedom.